We do have with us our presenter, Dr. Joycelyn Elders, and I'm going to introduce her to you now. Dr. Joycelyn Elders, we appreciate her taking time out of her busy schedule, traveling throughout the country to come to the great state of North Carolina. It's been a joy talking to you over the phone about various issues regarding this, and it's been a pleasure. But Dr. Joycelyn Elders, the first person in the state of Arkansas to become board certified in pediatric endocrinology, was the 16th Surgeon General of the United States Public Health Service Advocate of Public Health. Dr. Elders was appointed Surgeon General by President Clinton in 1993. Dr. Elders, born to poor farming parents in 1933, grew up in a rural, segregated, poverty-stricken area of Arkansas. She was the eldest of 8 children. After high school, she earned a scholarship to the all-black liberal arts school, Philander Smith College in Little Rock. She was inspired by Edith Irby Jones, the first African-American to attend the University of Arkansas Medical School. Dr. Elders had not even met a doctor until she was 16 years old, decided that becoming a physician was possible, and wanted to be like Jones. After college, Dr. Elders joined the Army and trained in physical therapy at the Brooke Army Medical Center at Fort Sam, Houston, Texas. In 1956, she attended the University of Arkansas Medical School on the GI Bill. Dr. Elders did an internship in pediatrics at the University of Minnesota, and in 1961 returned to the University of Arkansas for her residency. Dr. Elders became chief resident in charge of the all-white, all-male residents and interns. She earned her master's degree in biochemistry in 1967, became an assistant professor of pediatrics at the university's medical school in 1971, and full professor in 1976. For the next 20 years, she combined her clinical practice with research in pediatric endocrinology, publishing well over 100 papers dealing with problems of growth and juvenile diabetes. Governor Bill Clinton at the time appointed Dr. Elders head of the Arkansas Department of Health in 1987, where she campaigned for clinics and expanded sex education. In 1993, President Clinton appointed Dr. Elders U.S. Surgeon General. Despite opposition from conservative critics, she was confirmed and sworn in September 10, 1993. During her term in office, she faced skepticism regarding her progressive policies, yet continued to bring controversial issues up for debate. As she states, change can only come about when the Surgeon General can get people to listen and talk about difficult subjects. Dr. Elders left office in 1995. She returned to the University of Arkansas as a faculty researcher and professor of pediatric endocrinology at the Arkansas Children's Hospital. In 1996, she wrote her autobiography, Joycelyn Elders, MD, From Sharecropper's Daughter to Surgeon General of the United States of America. Now retired from practice, she is a professor at the University of Arkansas School of Medicine and remains active in public health education. I present to you Dr. Joycelyn Elders, and she's married to Mr. Oliver Elders. If you could come up to the front.
Good afternoon. I certainly want to thank Chairman Earl Jones for inviting me here to North Carolina to be a part of this hearing. Most of all, I want to thank him for holding this hearing because I think it's very critical that we study what we need to do before we get and do the right things. And that's what I feel that this is about. This bill, which he says is not quite a bill, it's a study bill, but it really would authorize the Legislative Research Commission to study the possible public health benefits of allowing medical use of marijuana in the state of North Carolina. Marijuana, as most of you know, have been used for 5,000 years in some form or the other. In fact, it was legalized and used here in the United States and was used, but in fact there are 4 or 5 pharmacy manufacturers, including people like Eli Lilly, Squibb, and all, that was making marijuana. In fact, there was 27 different medications that was in the pharmacy that you could go buy that contained marijuana. And then and that was there until 1942. In 1937 or earlier, we began to make some laws. The laws were really without much basis or without much science, but they were really, they made some laws. Some was directly against the Chinese. Some were directed directly against African Americans. Some, the marijuana law was directed more specifically against the Mexicans. So this is how we ended up passing all of these laws. It was almost completely out of the hands of the doctors, and they didn't even know that they was taking marijuana off the pharmacy when they was talking about passing the laws until after it was off. So you know how we kind of slide things in. But the medical use of this drug, of cannabis, as it's known to us as scientists, is certainly something that I think we feel should be available. The early marijuana medications are used much for the same purpose that we want to use them today. And now what we're doing is needing to go back and validate the studies, really prove using hard science that the things that we are saying about them is true. They were out there to try to relieve pain. And you've heard 2 young women testify about the pain that they have and about how much this relieves the pain. And I've heard this from several people before. Usually it's called neuropathic pain. It's a kind of nerve damage pain, and almost nothing else will really relieve it and get rid of it quite as well. So I think that so that was one of the things. The other was appetite stimulation. But these early studies that was done had many drawbacks. We couldn't control the level. We couldn't measure how much was being given. We didn't know how much was being taken. We couldn't regulate it quite as well. So this was created some of the problems. And I think you've already heard these young women, and you've heard probably other people talk about when you are having pain, you will try anything. You'll take anything to try and get some relief. We've learned a lot since back then. We not only now know that marijuana is safe and effective medication. The first thing you have to know about a drug, any drug, if you're putting it out on the market, is it effective? And is it safe? It can be the most effective thing in the world, but if it's not safe, you still got a problem. And then, so I think we have been using marijuana around for, as I said, 5,000 years. So we know that it's basically safe. It's safer than an awful lot of medications that we have out there on the market.